Our job is to grow our economy faster than the world economy. Russian economic growth over the last year was 2.3%. This year, it is expected to be a percentage point lower at 1.3%. Nevertheless, the challenges that face us are 2% economic growth for next year, and the year after that, a level of 3% of growth in the economy.
Recently, you've said that you see opportunities for Russian businesses in the Chinese market. We've learnt that the Chinese economy is slowing. We know that there is damage as a result of the trade war with the United States. Does that make it much harder for Russia to benefit from its engagement with China at this point? And what have the consequences been of this trade war on Russia?
We are building relations on the principle of our mutual interests. Therefore, our goal with China is to achieve greater levels of trade. The figures that we have in our plans come to $200 billion. My colleagues in the government are working alongside our Chinese partners and working on investment. We have around 70 projects, investment portfolios in which we see opportunities to develop our investment relations. These are projects in the Far East. These are projects within the frame of the One Belt, One Road project, where our Chinese partners are working alongside many countries. We are building the infrastructure that will allow us to increase trade between Europe and the countries of the East, and primarily our Chinese partners. Therefore, there are a lot of plans. We have a very good level of cooperation at the leadership level between our countries, and this speeds things up in all areas, be it at governmental level or with business collaboration. We intend to further develop our trading, economic and investment collaboration between our countries.
Is it then in your interests to see a difficult relationship between China and the United States on trade continue for some time here? Russia may benefit from selling its produce into China if the Americans are going to continue just raising tariffs.
I can unambiguously say that Russia does not shape its policies on the basis of the problems of our neighbors, the biggest countries with the biggest economies in the world. We are conducting our policies on the basis of the interests of bilateral relations. Yes, the restrictions that have arisen between the People's Republic of China and the United States of America are indeed leading to China looking for other suppliers, other markets, and we are ready to participate in minimizing these sanctions, these restrictions. And our partners, especially in agriculture, in industry, are working to compensate for these restrictions. These are very necessary measures, but I would like to repeat that under no circumstances are our policies aimed at profiting from other people's problems. We are working within the framework of our mutual interests.
If we see a trade war between the United States and the EU, what will that mean for Russia, and will you seek perhaps closer relations with some Western European countries to offset the impact of that trade war? Sanctions notwithstanding, of course.
Trade wars are harmful to the global economy. That's obvious. Therefore, we are opposed to any restrictions. We are opposed to trade wars. But your question, my answer, will be like the one regarding China. If we end up with additional trading pressures between Europe and America, we will likewise cooperate with Europe from the point of view of our trading relations. If Europe is ready, we'll develop things further. We believe that, on the contrary, we need to remove these restrictions that exist between Europe and Russia, between the USA and Russia. We believe trade restrictions are leading us to the situation that we are now witnessing. Unfortunately, for the fifth time, the forecast for the global economy has been lowered. Who is that good for? It is the consequence of the sanctions and trade wars that you and I are discussing now. It's just not possible to continue conducting global economic policy in this way. These issues are constantly being discussed at the G20. Unfortunately, we don't see any measures or actions to reverse this, while unfortunately these restrictions, sanctions and trade wars exist and continue.